Hello and welcome to Network. My name is Sphumelele Zondi with your technology and social media news. Remember that if you want to be a part of this tech conversation, you can find us on SABC Network. That's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Use network at sabc.co.za on email. You can also use the hashtag SABC Network. Today, our Twitter poll is asking if you think the new WhatsApp limit on a number of times a message can be shared will fight the spread of fake news. At Sir_Shorter says people will just copy and paste before forwarding now. Results of that poll are coming up later in the program. Here's what's coming up today. Globalization 4.0 was this year's theme at the World Economic Forum in Davos. World leaders discussed how tech is changing the world order. We find out about the technologies in some of the top cars that won big at the recent award ceremony. And our discussion is on Coding Mamas. Co-founder of the initiative, Nelisa Ngulana, is here for that one. Hello, and thank you very much for being a part of our network, Nelisa.
Hi, Sphumelele. Thanks for having me.
How important is it for mothers to know how to code?
It is very important with the growing digital economy and the skills gap when it comes to women. It is very important.
All right, so hold it there. We will have that discussion later in the program. But first, your technology and social media news. Now, the World Economic Forum in Davos this year has been looking at the fourth industrial revolution. The theme has been globalization 4.0. Machines are taking over jobs from people. But do we have enough skills to take us forward? While in Africa, many tasks are still done manually, in parts of the world, machines are taking over. It is inevitable that this will come to Africa too. People will lose jobs. New jobs will be created, and many will move to where new opportunities are. That's why this year's World Economic Forum theme has been Globalization 4.0.
Basically, what we're seeing across the world is a changing world order, one that is changing as a result of big shifts such as the Internet of Things, blockchain technology, cloud computing, big data analytics, 3D printing, and the rest of it. In order not to get left behind, Africa will need to create skills that will make sure that the continent manages to compete and that its people are fit to take up new jobs and are not taken out of employment.
Government has to invest. The business sector has to invest, because if we as universities cannot produce people who are adequately skilled for the fourth industrial revolution, then government and industry is going to suffer, and our country and our economy is going to suffer.
The South African government says this is something that they are working on.
The challenge we are going to have, which we're certainly going to start addressing in the next year or two, is how do we train our young people to cope with and get jobs in and become entrepreneurs in the new digital terrain or technology terrain that is unfolding at the moment.
While many are looking to adopt new technologies that will make it easy for citizens to build businesses and for countries' economies to grow, Zimbabwe came under heavy criticism recently for shutting down the internet during anti-government protests. The Zimbabwean government says this should not deter investors, especially those in the tech sector.
The issue about shutting down the internet was a simple tactical response by the law enforcement agents of government of the state. It was really not really meant to be a permanent situation, and it was a very temporary situation. Once the situation was put under control, the internet was again allowed to function.
No deals are really signed at the World Economic Forum, but those here in Davos, Switzerland, get a chance to make sure that they are seen, whet each other's appetites about potential investment, and share new ideas. Because of this year's theme, those new ideas were surely in the tech space. Sometimes you just have to talk to some cars and not press a button for an action to happen. Self-driving cars are also coming soon. Producer Sandile Hlangane went to the cars.co.za award ceremony to find out about the latest in car technology.
this year's Cars.co.za Consumer Awards, Volkswagen scooped 2 prestigious prizes for its ability to put the latest technologies safely at the fingertips of the driver.
Nowadays, technology is the decisive factor. That it's not only safety and it's fuel consumption. It's a combination of all of that. You cannot offer old type of vehicles, old technology type of vehicles. People have a choice.
The awards aim to recognize efforts amongst car makers in the increasingly important technology-driven market.
We live in very exciting times where in our lifetimes we will see very big change, and it is starting to gather momentum. So this year alone, I think there are 4 new electric cars being launched in South Africa. Autonomous vehicles are around the corner to various degrees, but even within cars, the way that we interact with our cars, the connectivity within cars, the touch interfaces, all these kind of things are just filtering down from your exotics and your luxury cars to even the small cars.
Brands now understand that buyers will not let go of their hard-earned cash unless the majority of the latest safety features are fitted to their cars. A panel of distinguished judges, including TV personality Claire Mawisa and tech journalist Ernest Page, said they considered brands that continue to push the digital envelope.
People are very demanding of the technology they have, so their phones, their tablets, their laptops. We need things like the GPS coordination. We want to make sure that we can actually get all the services our phones give us, but we want that in our cars.
We're in the phase now of the car industry where technology is taking these huge leaps and bounds. We've got electric cars coming, we've got hybrid cars coming, we've got guys like Merck and Volvo that are making autonomous cars and tech where the Mercedes-Benz, for example, you just talk to the car and then the sunroof opens.
Toyota Group won the Brand of the Year award.
People love Toyotas. It's the most popular car in South Africa. We had more than a 24% market share in 2018. But we've kept abreast of the times as well. Toyota is also about keeping up with modern technology. We've got audio display in all of our cars. We're keeping up with the latest safety spec, and we're just putting more things into our cars that resonate with people on the street.
Other winners included Volvo Group, which had the most nominations, followed by Audi, BMW and Porsche.
Now, most Kenyans have mobile money service M-Pesa. Most do not have bank accounts. This means it was difficult for them to get loans in the past. That's why mobile network provider Safaricom, which launched M-Pesa, has now launched Fuliza to help them get loans. They've partnered with financial institutions for this one.
Kenya's biggest telecommunications operator, Safaricom, which is partly owned by South Africa's Vodacom and Britain's Vodafone, secured 1 million users for its new overdraft feature called Fuliza in just 8 days of its launch on M-Pesa, the mobile money transfer service. The feature offers loans and savings in conjunction with local banks, as well as merchant payment services.
Turned out we got the million by day 8. And by day 8, we had lent about $10 million. Now I think we're probably at about $15 million that's been loaned out. So really exciting product, quite creative. But if you look at it in the scale of things, it's just like an evolution of what we've done before. But clearly it meets a very latent demand.
Fuliza is underwritten by Kenyan lenders KCB and CBA Group, which already had partnerships with Safaricom. As the market leader with 65% of mobile phone users or 30 million subscribers, the company has long been dogged by regulatory proposals to clip its wings to boost competition.
Our focus is on building an e-commerce marketplace. It's on building solutions for the agricultural sector, for the transport sector. It's about IoT, Internet of Things. It's about tracking of vehicles, tracking of coolers for soda and for beer and stuff like that. So that's where we focus, not on the competition.
M-Pesa has around 20 million active users in Kenya, and it has become the principal driver of profit growth for a dominant telecoms provider in East Africa, as revenue from traditional voice and text services has flattened off.
Remember that you can find us on SABC Network, that is on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za, on email. After the break, we'll chat to Nelisa Ngulana about coding mamas.
Clientele funeral plans.
It's your final gift of love.
I chose a clientele funeral plan because it's affordable and suits my budget.
I chose clientele because they are an original. They've been around for a long time, and I know within my family are in good hands.
I'm a farmer and I'm a businessman, and I know a good deal when I see one. Clientele is a good deal.
Clientele is the name I trust.
SMS plan to 31043 and we'll call you back.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Welcome back. Now, Explore Data Science Academy now offers data science programs to high school learners. They say this is to assist in closing the skills gap. High school students can be anywhere in the country and with access to a computer and the internet to take these data science courses.
So we think there's a massive mismatch between the demand and supply of data scientists. There's millions required and only 50 or to 100 being produced by South Africa's universities. So this is an attempt to bridge that gap and provide more data scientists to South Africa. We think there's a massive gap for data science in the high school curriculum. Our high school curriculum teaches maths and science, but not really coding or data science. So we think to survive in the future and to be prepared for the future, students, or at least teenagers, should be learning data science. So data science is teaching students how to solve problems using data. So it's taking data, writing algorithms and building models on top of that to predict stuff and to make sense of stuff. The online courses, the high school courses anywhere in the country.
Now, while a lot of skills development is focused on the young people, as we just saw, you find that their parents get left behind. They are most likely the people who will not be employable in future. That's the reason Nelisa Ngulana says she co-founded Coding Mamas. Nelisa joins me in studio to talk about Coding Mamas right now. Hello, and thank you very much for joining me, Nelisa.
Hello.
Now, Coding Mamas, where did that idea come from? Can you code?
Yes, I can.
Mm-hmm. How did you learn how to code?
I learned in my first job back in 2005. That was primarily because I worked in a communications team that comprised of developers. So we were building a lot of websites. So I kind of got a crash course during those couple of years while I was there.
All right. So, and the idea for Coding Mamas, why do you think it's necessary?
Because there's a growing skills gap in general, and obviously with us going more and more into the digital economy, everyone's talking about the fourth industrial revolution, we have an increasing gap of scarce skills. And also as a mom, I often drive my own daughter around to coding boot camps and all of those things. I found that I'm also not able to support her in her digital journey. So I started looking around for a platform where I could learn, and I couldn't really find one. I found myself as the oldest person in a lot of the coding boot camps I joined. So I decided to then create a space for other moms.
And why did you think it was important for your daughter to go to all these programs that you send your daughter to?
Well, I mean, everybody is talking about digital being the future. She's a huge tech enthusiast. So I encouraged her to start exploring how to start building her own tech and understanding how it works.
How difficult has it been putting together Coding Mamas? As you say that as a mother, you found that you'd be the oldest person in the programs that you'd be attending.
It hasn't been that difficult, actually. The reception that we've had in terms of our knowledge partners that we've reached out to, other moms in tech who are our experts on the panel that will be, be running the courses for us. It has not been that hard, and we've also found a very interesting response from moms. There are a lot of moms who are both employed and unemployed. We were actually looking at mostly unemployed moms, but there's been quite a big response from employed moms who are just looking to learn a new skill.
All right, so why unemployed mothers?
Because as you know, with coding, you're able to work remotely. It opens up different, employment opportunities, and everybody's always looking for a job, right? So we felt that with coding skills, you're able, if you're building websites, if you're building applications, you're able to do that from anywhere. And also the reason behind coding mamas is very specific, that we're looking at moms, so that a lot of us work from home or we work flexibly with coding, with those skills that come with that. It increases our chances of being able to work and be moms.
Do you have age limits? Can someone be 22 and be a mother and attend? And
No,
can someone be 65 and be a mother and attend?
There's no age limit. If you're a mom that's keen to learn, you are welcome to join us.
So how does it work? Is there a place, a meeting point for these mothers? Is it in a specific area? What happens?
So our initial rollout of the workshops is focused on Cape Town, Joburg and Durban. And then later on in the year, we will be doing an outreach program to moms in rural areas. We will be taking the same program to them. And then we've created a virtual platform where moms can continue to learn to code and connect with other moms and connect to other coding platforms.
So once you sign up, you're in it for the full year?
Yes.
All right. And meeting points, what happens? Where do the mothers have to be? You say Joburg, Durban and Cape Town. Yes. What if you are in, let's say, Pretoria? Can you attend the Joburg program?
So the Joburg one, our first one is on the 16th of March. It's happening in Midrand. We've done it in Midrand so that we can accommodate moms in Joburg and Pretoria. We try to find a space that's halfway. It's at the Kyalami venue in Midrand. It's on the 16th. It's a free event. So moms can just come along and learn how to code.
And I suppose as kids are going to all these coding platforms, we just saw another program, the Explore Data Science Academy, saying they're now open to teenagers. Mothers also have to then help out with homework, because kids are going to get homework with their coding programs that they go to.
Yes, no, absolutely. I mean, even with our workshop, we've also got a program for kids, for younger kids, with the Binary School. The Binary School teaches robotics. So while moms are learning to code, on the other side, kids will be introduced. So kids from 3 years and up will be introduced to robotics in the play area.
Now, mothers are busy, Nelisa. So how will you ensure that this fits into the mother's schedule, in between dropping off kids, picking up kids from school, and helping with other homework?
Well, I have to make space. I make space to code almost every night, so you have to make space. Coding is one of those things. You have to spend time doing it.
And how will it help them in future as mothers? Because I think a lot of people tend to target the younger people, because it often ends somewhere in the mid-30s, because the assumption is that those are people who still have at least 30 or more years of work ahead of them.
I mean, if you're looking, for example, you're talking about a mom that's 22, a mom that's 30, a mom that's 35 even. That person still has at least another 25 to 30 years of their working life. So the idea is to upskill those who are already in employment, so that they're able to move with the times within the employer. And those who aren't, who want to gain a new skill, change careers, so that they can position themselves better. That's what this will help them with.
All right. And the mother in the rural areas, are they getting exactly the same program as the main ones?
Yes.
All right. All right. That's good to hear. Thank you very much, Nelisa Ngolana.
Thanks for having me.
Nelisa Ngolana there is co-founder of Coding Mamas. Now, this week we caught up with a TV personality, Lala Hirayama. She told us about her favorite technology.
Hey everybody, it's your ninja, Lala Hirayama. Today we're talking technology, and my favorite piece of technology, listen, I've had to really dig deep, because if you think about it, we rely on a lot. I mean, from the time we wake up in the morning with our phones, our alarms, to Googling something, but the most important thing I've realized is, guys, who are we without Wi-Fi? Technology has changed everything, and we have Wi-Fi to thank for it. That in itself, man, it's the work of God.
newsnetwork at sabc.co.za on email. Now, the United States has proposed laws targeting Huawei and ZTE corporations, and India has launched the world's lightest satellite into space. These are some of the stories that made tech headlines in the rest of the world.
Washington lawmakers have proposed new bills that would ban the sale of some U.S. tech hardware to Huawei, ZTE Corporation or other Chinese telecommunication companies that violate U.S. export control laws.
For Huawei in particular, we are seeing nearly everyday stories of Western governments raising fears or concerns over what they say are links to the Chinese government. I mean, these are claims and accusations that Huawei has consistently, repeatedly denied. But the Americans, their greatest fear is that the equipment of Huawei and ZTE can be used to spy on Americans. There was a ban imposed last year on ZTE, on American companies selling parts to ZTE, because it violated US sanctions. That had a crippling effect on ZTE. So if this bill actually does go through, I would think, and analysts have said, that they would expect a similar impact on the companies.
The proposed law and investigation are two of several challenges that Huawei, the world's biggest telecommunications equipment maker, faces in the US market. Now let's move to China. E-commerce giant Alibaba Group unveiled its first future hotel, also known as Flizhou Hotel, in East China. The robots are part of a suite of high-tech tools that the company says drastically cut the hotel's cost of human labor and eliminate the need for guests to interact with other people.
With our technology resources, we will in the future give our hotelier more and more tools in terms of the hotel management, right? Both in the customer experience and the back of the house hotel management team, right? So like the self-check-in machine, like the guest mobile check-in, like the robot service and homogeneous voice butler. The purpose of this kind of service and technology is to improve the efficiency of the service and the consistency of the service quality.
The 290-room Flizhou is an incubator for technology Alibaba wants to sell to the hotel industry in the future, and an opportunity to showcase its skill in artificial intelligence. Off we go to India. Indian Space Research Organization launched the world's lightest satellite from southern spaceport in India this Thursday. The satellite to be ever built and launched into orbit, named Kilemsat, weighs only 1.26 kg and has been designed by a group of students from the space education firm Space Kids.
The opportunity that ISRO is open to us, I think, is phenomenal, because you put in so much of money to build a rocket, and to give one segment for the student research is amazing. And I should say hats off to Dr. Shivan and to the entire crew of ISRO who've actually hand-holded us and, who've taken us through this journey of building this satellite.
This week, our Twitter poll has been asking if you think WhatsApp's decision to reduce the number of times a message can be shared will help stop the spread of fake news, as the company is hoping. Now, 23% of you say yes. The overwhelming majority are people who say no. That figure is at 61%. There is also 16% that responded by saying they don't know. That's it. That's all we have for you. Find us on SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's newsnetwork@sabc.co.za on email. We leave you with visuals of a smart pet robot from China. It's designed to make pets active and happy while the owner is away. From me and the rest of the network team, have a good one. Bye-bye.